capacity will be required by 2030 to support the increasing demand. Additionally, the growing demand for flue gas desulfurization equipment in the existing thermal power plants further reinforces a strong market opportunity, which is well aligned with our strategic priorities in GE Power India Limited. However, the industry is now taking decisive steps to address these challenges with a renewed focus and a clear strategic directions. We are well positioned to capitalize on the emerging opportunities in this segment. Our commitment remains steadfast, and we are confident in our ability to drive sustainable growth while contributing to environmental compliances and the industry progress. In the month of December 2024, India's power consumption increased by nearly 6% to 130 billion units compared to previous year. The highest supply in a day also rose to 213 gigawatts in December 2023 to 224 gigawatts in December 24. Peak demand is expected to touch 270 gigawatts in the summers of 2025. Coming down to GE Power India's performance during the quarter, we are excited to share that our revised business strategy of focusing on the new growth areas and de-risking the high capital long gestation period is paying off as our losses will be reducing and revenue stream stabilizes. In another key development, your company is focused on a lower risk, higher margin services model as we stabilize our business and build our order book among the four key growth areas: core services, services upgrades, the FGDs, and Durgapur. It is imperative for us to enhance shareholders' value and gain investors' interest as we move into the financial year with a renewed operational rigor and the financial discipline. Your company's current strategy focusing on new growth area is progressing very well, with 3 times growth in the order booking versus December 23 quarter. We have received the Vindhyachal steam turbine upgrade order from NTPC worth 348 crores. I am proud to report that your company's standalone steam power business reports profit for the second consecutive quarter. Thank you for your patience. I will now hand it over to Ashish, who will share the financial updates with you. Ashish, over to you.
Thank you, Puneet. Good evening, everyone, and thanks to all of you who have managed to join today's call. I would like to add data points to the commercial updates that Puneet has just shared with you. Subsequently, I'll share the financial performance of the company as well. During the current quarter, company got orders worth rupees 461 crores compared to rupees 134 crores in the corresponding period of the last year, marking a 3x plus increase during the same period, which Puneet just highlighted as well. In the current quarter, we saw a significant order win for Vindhyachal steam turbine upgrade from NTPC Limited, valued at rupees 348 crores as part of the continuing commercial strategy of your company. Coming to the financials, we are seeing a steady and favorable shift in the sales mix, where we continue to progress on execution of the FGD EPC contracts and convert it to sales, while on the other hand, getting the high calorie businesses like business from services are increasing, and in the current quarter we reported revenue of 317 crores, which is an 8% increase compared to 294 crores in the corresponding period of the last year from continuing operations. We also saw strong focus on execution and profitability with drivers such as fire insurance claim recovery in NTPC CPAT FGD project of rupees 10 crores in the current quarter, which in overall supported to close at 8 crores profit before exceptional items in the current quarter. This is, like Puneet said, second consecutive profitable quarter for the continuing business of your company. Loss before tax, including the exceptional item, for the quarter was negative 20 crores against loss of 2 crores in corresponding period of last year, which includes the 27 crores loss from the discontinued operations. As on December 31st, 2024, your company has an order backlog of rupees 2,706 crores from the continuing operations of steam, and standalone net worth stand at positive 92 crores. Before I open the forum for Q&A, I want to emphasize that your company is in a long-term turnaround journey of its financial performance, taking one quarter at a time. We now open the forum for Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin with the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Participants, you may press star and one to ask a question. Participants, you may press star and one to ask a question. First question is from the line of Rahul Kapoor from Goldstone Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. My question is with regards to profitability at the operating level. Excluding the other income, we're still at a loss at the operating level, and compared to some of the other equipment makers, our employee cost still is at about 18%. Compared to some of the other equipment makers, which is at some 10% or about low double digit. How do we propose to improve the profitability?
Thanks, Mr. Kapoor. I'll ask Ashish to respond to this question. Ashish, over to you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Mr. Kapoor, for the question. So yes, we out of the 8 crores, it constitutes the other income definitely. But first, I just want to clarify that a lot of the other income items also includes the efforts which are being put in the projects itself. For example, what I mentioned in the opening speech for the NTPC Sipat HGD fire insurance claim recovery of rupees 10 crores, again something which relates to the operational side as well, but from an accounting standpoint, it is included in other income. So while the other income shows 27 crores, but it does include things which are on the which are happening in reality on the sites only. Having said that, it does not mean that we are out of the woods for sure. Like we have been saying that this is a long-term turnaround story. This is not a one-quarter turnaround story, and it would take time while we are delivering on our commitments to the customers on the long gestation cycle HGD EPC contracts. So while we are doing it, we would see that these mixed quarters. So this is a part of the overall 2 years, 3 years journey, and it's not one quarter story. So we have been reporting a steady last time and this time also. Last time was 9 crores, this time was 8 crores. Very marginal but steady profits. And as we continue, while we continue finishing the commitments on the HGD EPC contract and our services business grow with the strategy that we have been following for your company, we should see those improvements for sure.
Okay. Nice to know that. The other question is about the HGD opportunity. Any progress which you see in the order booking in the HGD side?
So, Mr. Kapoor, as you know that there has been a notification which came from the NITI Aayog, which was analyzed, which has done some analysis and recommendation along with CSRI and NIL. And NITI Aayog stated something. This has now been clarified, and the Ministry of Environment and Forest has actually given the concession with respect to the extended timelines, and the legislation still exists in the country. So that thin air which was created at that point of time is now being resolved, and the power station owners have been given a little bit of a relaxation in terms of the deadlines, and we are participating as per the tenders which are coming, looking into the selectiveness of those tenders as required by your company. So the process, we are seeing that the green shoots which were not available during the last quarter are now coming back in the market. Thank you.
With regards to this large order of about 400 crores from NTPC, are these, do these relate to some of these plants which are of, say 30 years and older vintage, or would you like to clarify?
Yes. So the Vindhyachal project, which we have recently, for which the order has been received recently in the December 2024 quarter, 384 crores. It's a steam turbine upgrade for an existing power station, which has been built about 25 years plus time back in the area of in Madhya Pradesh, and this has got 3 units. So these are for those units which are old units, and we are giving them the performance upgrade as well as the megawatt upgrading also.
Okay. Thanks. That's all from my side.
Yeah. And just to clarify, the value is 348 crores for this order.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Next question is from the line of Venkataraman, retail investor. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, Mr.
Yeah, I want to know what is the current debt of our company, and another thing is whether our company is going to involve in any nuclear-related projects.
Venkataraman, sorry, your audio is not clear.
I'm audible now?
Yes, better.
Yeah. What is the current debt of our company? And another thing is whether we're going to involve in any nuclear-related projects.
Okay, maybe Ashish this side. Thank you, Mr. Raman. I'll take the first one and I'll hand over for the nuclear question to Puneet. The current debt for Jatil 11 Enterprise as on 31st December was around 5 crores for the internal cash flow arrangement that we have. So borrowing position is towards that. The quarter has seen a very significant increase in, or let's say good performance on the collections as well as the cash performance overall. And we stand at marginal borrowing position as on December 31st. Puneet, you want to take on the nuclear question?
Thanks, Mr. Venkataraman. As I stated earlier, the company has gone into a revised strategy wherein we are trying to de-risk our portfolio and try to concentrate on those areas wherein the working capital cycle is not too long. And we are very well placed to work on our services for the existing steam power plant of coal, both in terms of supplying of the spares, repairs, retrofitting, plus the upgrades and the modernization, NOx reductions, etc.
I think we recently launched, not so long ago, the new strategy focusing on the 4 pillars. The intent is to financially make your company more stable after 3 years of continued losses. So I think we would stick to those 4 pillar strategy, implement it successfully, execute it, and then maybe we'll think after that. But for now, we have launched a strategy and they are working relentlessly towards making it a success.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Next question is from the line of Premal Shah, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, good evening. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. My question is, sir, regarding this demerged entity, the hydro business, which is probably what you've mentioned in the results that would be done up by this quarter coming March. So the losses for that same business are also being reflected in the results. So will they be there in the month of in the quarter of March as well, or how long will these losses be borne by GE Power India?
Okay, I'll take the one. Thank you, Mr. Shah, and welcome back again. It's always good to have questions on you. So, on your hydro question, yes, it remains with us. We had communicated for transfer on lump sum basis for two segments, hydro and gas. We completed gas on 30th September. Hydro is still with us, which we communicated that is expected to be completed and transferred, by end of the March was the communication, and we are working towards it. We are committed to kind of make that happen. Few approvals are awaited, which we are working on, and you should hear more updates in the coming weeks on that. In terms of the losses from hydro, I will refrain myself to commenting on will we or will we not see losses in the March quarter, because that's a forward-looking statement, and I would refrain from that. I hope you understand. However, to your question of till when will we see those or see hydro, is till we complete the transaction, which currently we are working to complete it by 31st March. That's what we are working towards, and we are hopeful that if we get all the approvals that we need to successfully and legally complete the transaction, we should be able to transfer this business to the catcher entity or to the purchaser.
Okay. So then what I mean to say is that, there's a certain amount of realization that GE Power India is going to get for the hydro business. So these losses will be reduced down from those realizations, right, which you already accounted for. So then the realization for hydro business is going to actually reduce down.
I get your question. You are right. The lockbox arrangement date, and that's a part of overall communication that we did at the time of in the August month when we communicated this transfer. The lockbox date is 1st of April 2024. So when we complete this transaction, the losses that we see today would get transferred. So
you mean to say they will be reversed?
We will realize the gain when we do that. Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, it's a loss today, but it will be a kind of a positive tomorrow.
It's a timing difference. Yes, it's a timing thing.
Okay, fine. Got it. Thank you. And what's the situation on the Durgapur factory? There is been some under recovery, and the man hours logged in are much lower. And where have we reached over there?
So no major surprises, I would say. Last time we communicated that we expect to clock around 165,000 hours in the current financial year of 24-25. The estimate for that has not changed. We have clocked the hours in the 9 months that we anticipated, and our total year estimate remains the same, around 165,000 hours.
And your break even is something around 200 plus or 300 plus, right?
260, roughly 265.
265, so way behind. Okay. And what is the situation on the insurance claims? There are balance 2 insurance claims still pending. Certain amounts are pending. What kind of a claim amount is still pending from both those?
Okay, so let's take one by one. Sholapur fire insurance, we have collected in cash 58 crores. And there is 1.3 crores which we have after selling the salvage value of the remains. So around 59.3 crores is recovered, let's say, on Sholapur project for the fire against the fire insurance claim. It's more or less now completed, though we have not done the final reconciliation, and we are in middle of that with the insurance. I will not put a number to it right now because it has an external touch point and we are working with the insurer. So, it will not be in interest of your company to put a number right now. So I will not put a number. But what I can tell you is the final reconciliation is ongoing. And by June, we are expecting that we will settle and close this claim completely. but 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 what I can say is that the most of the money on the Sholapur is collected, and we don't expect a very, very significant amount left on the Sholapur claim. On Sipat, we have collected Sipat fire insurance claim. I mean, we have collected rupees 20 crores, and we have submitted our final claim to the insurer. The surveyor, is making regular visits, and even this week, people are at site to kind of support the surveyor, and the reconciliation would follow. So we are, while we are more advanced on Sholapur, there is still work to do on Sipat to kind of reach to the final closure and settlement stage. But expect that there should be an interim, or there should be some money flowing in Sipat also in the next 3 to 4 months. And in the best case scenario, we would also, what we would like to do and are targeting is that by June, along with Sholapur, we conclude the Sipat insurance as well. So that's the target internally, and also now communicating to you. But I'm refraining to put any number because these are having external touch points with the insurers and is not in best interest of your company.
Okay. So what I understand is originally Sholapur had a 99.8 crores claim, right? Or probably 80 crores.
99.8 crores of total loss.
Yeah.
The loss because of the fire insurance. Now, the fire insurance loss comprises not only the amount, the cost, or the replacement price of the material. It does also include if because of that fire there are prolongation at site, there are delays at site. It means that more internal cost is to be put, as well as you are exposed to some liquidated damages. Plus, if because of that prolongation there are other costs associated. So this is like we estimated the total loss because of that fire incident. Does not mean that all of it is to be taken with the insurance. This is not the cost of the equipment alone, is what I'm trying to say. So don't have 1-to-1 relation with that out of 100, 58 is received and 40 is balanced. So I'm just putting a caution so that you don't put a 1-to-1 correlation there. That was a loss because of fire insurance. Not necessarily everything is backed by insurance.
Okay. So my basic point was, out of both these Sipat and Sholapur, what is the kind of anticipation that we have in receiving now? After what we have received and what the actual losses are, what kind of an amount can we expect? Say 10 crores, 12 crores, 15 crores, 30 crores, including both of these. That's what my point was.
Yeah, no, I understand, and that's why I said I don't want to put a number because insurer is an external party. So of course we are pushing for the maximum, is what I can say. On Sholapur, I gave you a good hint that there is not much left there. So on Sipat, still there is some calorie left, but on Sholapur there is not much left there. So I would pause on that because putting a number does not puts us in a worse condition in front of the insurers.
Thank you. Premal, may I request to come back for a follow-up question, please? Thank you. Next question is from line of Murthy, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yes. See, hello.
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 We can hear you, sir.
Hello. Hello.
It's audible.
Yes, yes. See, I'm Murthy. I would like to ask, what is our competence in small modular reactors, and what kind of ordering are we seeing in flexible operations of coal power plants and NOx control equipment, and we are not getting any corresponding boiler upgrades. Like, for example, NTPC Vindhyachal, we got only steam turbine upgrades. But what about the corresponding boiler upgrade for it?
So thanks, Mr. Murthy. I'll start one by one. So when we talk about the boiler upgrades, it's not that we have not received any boiler upgrades. If you If you remember, the previous quarter we have received a boiler upgrade from Vedanta Jharsuguda. They are coming. It's not that it's only the steam turbine which is coming. So that's the first part of the question. Second part of the question which you asked was with respect to the Bharat modular reactor. As I said, and as it was announced in our revised strategy, that the company is looking out at this point of time those areas of operations which are with the reduced risks, which are not the long gestation capital working cycles. So with that perspective, we went into the 4-pillar strategy which was announced, and we worked that, and we are seeing at least for the second quarter that we are taking a robust, steady steps towards that, and it's a journey which we have started. So that's the area wherein we would be focusing for the thermal power stations in terms of its reliability, affordability, and the sustainable power, with the effect and the understanding on the decarbonization and the emission controls through our spares, repairs, upgrades, and the geographical expansion mode which we are working at, and we are focusing at that point of at that. And we have got a full back. Our promoter is fully backing us on this, as we have explained in our previous when we launched the strategy and this was announced. So this is the way, Mr. Murthy, we are moving and taking the steady steps, and quite happy. Just to reiterate that the second quarter we still are moving in the right direction, which is giving us a lot of confidence in the new strategy.
Mr. Murthy, do you have any follow-up question?
Yes, regarding flexible operations of coal power plants, I mean, is there any active ordering happening there? Flexible operations for this?
So at this, the flexible operations we are still active in the flexible operations. So the flexible operations for the existing power stations are being advocated, and we are in discussions with the prospective customers. I think soon we should have a little bit of a movement in the market on that subject also.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask the question. Next follow-up question is from the line of Rahul Kapoor from Goldstone Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, with regards to this service upgrade opportunity, I would assume that, there'll be a lot of plants using the GE technology still in operation and, the African countries and Asia Pacific, other countries in Asia Pacific. Are we looking at opportunities to upgrade some of these plants?
So, Mr. Kapoor, from the GE Power India perspective, we have got the mandate to work in about 13 countries for the boiler upgrades, and in India, both boiler as well as the steam turbine upgrades. We are mandated to upgrade any of the fleets, be it a G fleet or be it a non-OEM. This is as per the strategy which we announced previously. I would just like to remind all of you towards that strategy presentation which we all did it in the previous.
So that means that there's all possibility of getting some orders from these 13 countries, which you just mentioned. And are you looking for opportunities there?
Come up just again, once again, for geography.
No, so you mentioned that, you have 13 countries where probably you could be servicing some of the operational GE plants. Are you actively looking for orders there, and do we expect some orders in future for upgrades?
Yes, we are actively looking out for the spares and the repairs opportunities over there. And in the previous quarter and before that also, we have received few orders, as we said, about
10 crores or something like that. So we have already booked. So I would say we have, Mr. Kapoor, we have our foot on the door in many of these countries. For example, we have got orders from Saudi, we have got orders from Turkey, we have got orders from Malaysia, we have got orders from Dubai. So we have got orders from a lot of these countries. So we have got a foot on the door, and as per the new strategy, which the fourth pillar, if you see, is essentially about exporting and expanding the region beyond India. So we are working towards it. So we have got the first orders in many countries. Now we are working towards expanding it and verifying it.
I see. Okay. So that's interesting to know. But what it seems that some of these orders haven't been of any significant size. Can we expect some significant orders also in future?
These are spare orders, definitely. Yeah. I mean, even if in India you see, these are spares orders, and the thing about spares order is that the sizing is of secondary importance. The quantum of orders is of primary importance. That's how we do businesses in India also, and I think it would remain like that there also, Mr. Kapoor. So more and more orders is the focus. We don't want an order of, or let's say not that we don't want, that's a wrong thing to say, but we are okay not having an order of 50 crores in 1 year, but get maybe 1 crores of 100 orders in a year. I'm just saying, I'm putting hypothetical numbers there, but just the mindset of how we are approaching it.
Okay. I would also, assume that some of these thermal plants which the state electricity boards are currently operating would be quite old and probably require upgrades. And, also what I understand, the central government has asked the state electricity boards to keep their plants up and running. Can we expect some orders from, and would you be willing to take some of these orders from the state electricity boards?
Yes, we would be willing to support our Indian installed base with the capabilities which we have got. So there is nothing which I can say we would not be interested. So definitely we would be interested, and we are working for that.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask the question. Next follow-up question is from the line of Premal Shah, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, Premal, go ahead.
Premal here. Now, after that NITI Aayog report, which is already, you mentioned earlier that, the government has still decided that the FGD deadlines are going to be there. So the original deadlines are 25, 26 and 27. So are they still relevant, or there has been any changes in those?
So it was 26 onward. Your dates are not very correct, but the 3 years extension has been given to each and every category.
So that's 26, 27, 28.
27, 28 and 29.
Oh, 27, 28, 29. Okay, so this is the third extension. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask the question. Next question is from the line of Vinod Zaveri from Pure Technicals. Please go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yes, Vinod, we can hear you.
Okay, I just wanted to ask you, Indian government is opening up the nuclear power plants category, and they want to go in an aggressive manner. Does the company G Power India have any plans to enter that field and want to participate aggressively, or they don't have such plans right as of now?
So, Mr. Vinod, as I would just reiterate the information which I already said earlier also, that when the new strategy of your company was announced, we decided that we would be only focusing on the de-risked opportunities with the short cash cycles, and we have already started taking that strategy onwards, and this is the second quarter in which we have actually seen the fruits of that. We are moving steadily on towards that. In that strategy, just to remind you that we will be focusing ourselves on the spares, repairs, and the upgrades and the retrofits of the thermal power station plant as an install base in the country, plus identified geographical countries.
Okay.
Vinod, do you have any follow-up question?
No, thanks.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and one to ask a question. Participants, you may press star and one to ask a question. As there are no further questions, I'll now hand the conference over to Mr. Puneet Bhatla for closing comments. Puneet sir, would you like to give any closing comments?
So sorry, it was on mute. Sorry.
Sure.
Thank you all once again for joining the call today. I would summarize by saying that the year which we have started was having a lot of clarity for our future business. We have already taken the strategy into the second quarter, wherein we have already taken the good steady steps of the success. And I'm very sure that we are moving in the right direction, and that will in a well-positioned situation. We have also increased our order by 3 times from a previous quarter, and I am very proud to state this thing in front of you on the behalf of your company. I close this by reiterating what Ashish has already mentioned, that this is the phase which we have started, and it's a long-term journey. We are moving confidently into this, and I'm sure that we will be moving in the right direction with the success to come to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On behalf of GE Power India Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines. Thank you.